By now, most people involved in peptides have heard of Janoshik and seen his COAs, but now it's time to see the lab and meet the legend himself. In this series, Janoshik takes us behind the scenes of one of Europe's most recognized analytical testing laboratories. Back in May, Janoshik invited me to Prague to visit his lab, and I was lucky enough to get a detailed guide around his whole facility. The following is footage taken from my visit. We'll explore the equipment, workflows, and people involved in processing the thousands of samples that pass through the facility, from sample intake and preparation through to analysis and reporting. Along the way, we'll look at the technology that powers the testing process, the infrastructure required to handle growing demand, and the day-to-day reality of running a modern analytical lab. Join me as we go behind the COAs and inside Janoshik's lab. In part 1, we begin with the machines behind the results, the UHPLCs, specialised balances, elemental analysis systems, and growing analytical infrastructure that powers the testing process.
We have some small methods here, such as pH meter, multimeter here. We have a fancy one that was a pretty expensive one, and then we have a couple of more machines. These are spares. We used to use this for dimer testing in human growth hormone, or you can use it to test for aggregates in GLP-1s.
Oh, can I ask you a question about
Sure.
HGH? Have you noticed a reduction in samples being sent to you for testing? Because there's a shortage of HGH.
Well, we haven't noticed anything significant.
You haven't?
We still do get a whole lot of samples of GH. It's difficult to tell if there's a relative reduction of something because of the sheer volume. We get more and more samples in absolute numbers. So even if it decreased relatively, we might not be seeing it. But I will ask the girls who actually do the AGH testing. We do have a couple of UHPLCs here. These are integrated UHPLCs. Like, they're less trouble than modular one. Like, for HPLCs, you can get these integrated machines. These are our Shimadzus. We do have a lot of those. And then we have a Waters here. This is the same integrated Waters machine. But we do prefer Shimadu. We have a long-standing relationship. We've been their client for well over a decade. Well, decade and a half almost. And this is a modular one. The main difference between the modular one, like you have a separate modules, and the integrated one is just there's less cable work. But so it's less trouble, less things to go wrong. And of course, it's a bit more expensive. Orderly. We just have to keep buying new machines pretty much every month now. There's a bunch of them all around the place. Ahoy. As evaluation, they also do GH. Have you noticed, Teresa, please, with AGH, has there been a growing or increasing volume or decreasing recently?
I would say increasing.
Yeah, okay. So there you go. Krisha asked me about Christine about that. So these are two more integrated UHPLCs. They're just pretty fancy machines. You just put in the samples over here in the HPLC tubes. Yeah, like this. You just put them here. It's cooled. You can feel it's chilled, so they don't degrade. Because when we fill the racks with hundreds of samples, it takes a while to get analyzed. So we keep them cool over there. So there's no degradation over here. So we can be sure that people are getting the results they ought to. And this is a part of the evaluation process. So just evaluating, you can take this. Like, you see the pig, and there's a degradation that's been cut off. And here we have the result. It's 10 milligrams of tesamorelin. So we have that going here. And there's another HPLC we have we have not installed yet. Like, we keep adding the machines due to volume all the time. And, well, hopefully we'll make this
Nice
work.
view.
Oh yeah, it's pretty nice around here. That's like a nature reserve over there at the mountain. It's called Vili. Right. And we do have ultra micro scales here. These are like $20,000 alone. They're very sensitive. They can weigh down to a couple of micrograms. So we use them for very sensitive analysis. There are some when you have a very insufficient amount of sample, or we have this CHNS machine, which is great for getting the actual net peptide content. But you need to weigh roughly 1 milligram, for this one. So the lab scales usually are not good enough for that. Like most labs, they own analytical scales, which can only weigh down to 20 or 30 milligrams, which would be far too much for this machine. So we need to get these expensive, fancy scales for this. And this is the actual result output from the machine. And they're evaluating some fancy blend of ATP AMP blend right now. Just in results here. But I don't think they're doing that today. And this is the catalyst. Yeah, this is the catalyst. Like in the CHNS machine, it works by burning the peptide up all the way. And to burn it all the way, you need high temperature and also some sort of a catalyst to ensure it's being burned in its entirety. And these glass things, they have the propensity to just explode sometimes. It's pretty fun. It sounds like a bomb going over here.